What's up, everybody? Dark Knight 316, Rapper Really Gaming, and this is the Tackles and Takedowns podcast post WrestleMania. So, I got a souvenir from WrestleMania here, WrestleMania cup that they gave you. If you bought the commemorative one on there,
I tell you, I was there. I was there.
I'm gonna fill it up with this Full Throttle. It's a new Full Throttle from Monster. They're not sponsors of this channel yet. Hopefully, they will. But I'm going to pour that in there so then I can... It looks cool. I'm going to drink it as we go through it. But what we're going to do is we're going to go over a little bit of WrestleMania, give our thoughts on day one, day two, what we thought was good, what we didn't see, and then we'll go over Raw. And if we have time, we'll do the best game on the internet and best game on YouTube is Wrestling 20 Questions.
There you go. 20 questions. 20 questions. 20 questions.
So, day one.
Day one is H.
It was pretty packed to there when we went. Match-wise, what I liked about day one is that they had a bunch of surprises that came. One of the surprises, if you didn't watch WrestleMania or you weren't on my socials, that Paige returned. She was the replacement for Nikki Bella because Nikki Bella supposedly injured her leg and was getting surgery, and then saw Paige and then had Paige come. They were so surprised one. So that threw a wrench in our prediction match because if you recall on our previous one when we were doing our wrestling picks, I said the only way that they'll give it to the Bella Twins is if the other teams help them make them look good. But I wasn't expecting that Paige was going to return because Paige already knows how to wrestle, so she doesn't have to worry about to make anybody look good. But so the Bray and Paige are the new women's tag team champions. So what did you think about that match?
It was pretty good. I really wish it was Bayley and Lyra Valkyria, but that was my pick. But I was glad to see though Paige is actually looking kind of healthy, so that looked like she looked like she was in good spirits. So I'm glad to see her return. Glad to see that she won the title. Now she just needs to beat Becky Lynch for the IC, and then she could become the longest reigning IC champion of all time.
Now, with the starting out match was the Usos and LA Knight versus The Vision with I Show Speed, and that was a decent match. I mean, it was like what you expect to be like a opener match. The cool part though is then when they forced I Show Speed to like attack LA Knight, attack the team, and then he didn't want to do it. So then they attacked him, and then you see the part where LA Knight beats up on Logan Paul, puts him on the table, and then I Show Speed goes up on the top rope and jumps off of there and goes through the table onto Logan Paul. That was pretty cool on there. What did you think about the Usos and the LA Knight? Yeah. LA Knight came out on the truck like he was trying to be like Stone Cold.
I thought it was kind of it was a decent match. I think though that they basically didn't use like LA Knight as well. LA Knight should have been in a championship match or even fighting for the Intercontinental title. But I thought it was a decent match. It wasn't too bad.
And then, do you remember what the second match was?
On day one?
Yeah. Was it Jacob and Drew?
It was Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre, I believe.
So, what do you think about that match?
I like Jacob Fatu. I think he's going to be good up and coming. Don't think he's quite ready yet for a world title. I think he needs more polishing with just mic things like that, in-ring ability. But I think he has the potential. I don't know if he wins a world title or anything like that, if he is like Roman Reigns level of being able to,
I don't
like,
think he is yet.
If you handed him the company,
I think he's more like Solo.
I don't think he I don't think he would be that. Like, I didn't think Jey Uso was like Roman Reigns level to, if you were to hand him the company, whereas you hand Roman Reigns the company and look what he's doing with it. So I think Jacob Fatu will probably, like, at some point he'll win the title. I don't think, if they give it to him now, it'd be kind of weird. But I think if they're going to reform like the bloodline, then he'll probably beat Jacob Fatu and then be like, you got to come back to the bloodline, or something like that.
Well, when we get to the Raw segment, we'll see about the bloodline stuff. But so we talked about the women's champion. That was actually the second. I think the second match.
Was it? Yeah, I don't remember.
On there. The other match we had was for the Intercontinental Champion for the women's. AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch.
I didn't like it. I knew Becky Lynch was going to win it.
We both figured that Becky Lynch.
I knew she was going to win it. I thought it was kind of a throwaway match because I felt like that was a match you could have used for WrestleMania instead of having them fight a second time. So I felt like that was kind of a throwaway match, knowing that Becky Lynch had to win the title because she couldn't let AJ Lee have her glory of winning the title, but that's how it is.
Yeah, and then we had the other match that we had was Gunther versus Seth Rollins. Now, what was cool about this one is the surprise on this match was Braun Breaker came back and speared Seth Rollins on there. And that beat him up and stuff like that. And it was like, thought he wasn't cleared for, WrestleMania, but apparently he is, because he ran down that long aisle, went around the thing, and went and attacked him. And you could see my video, but WWE's been a butthole and is blocking most of my content that I put up on there, even though everybody else could put it on there. But if you could see it on there, try to see it before any of the other stuff gets blocked, because I have a bunch of content on there. But what did you think about the Stephanie Valkyrie versus Liv Morgan match?
I knew Stephanie Valkyrie was going to lose, but the entrance of Liv Morgan I did not like. I felt like anybody who had the longer entrance was the one who was winning. Like, that's what it made it seem like, because
yeah, you're right.
Like, everybody I could think of day one who came out, who took the longest to come out, ended up winning the title. So, but good to see. I like Liv Morgan. I think they need to stop making her like a trashy looking character. But I think she
likes being like that type of character because she's with Dirty Dom.
Yeah, but like the way she didn't look like I was like, oh yeah, she's pretty cool. But then when she did this entrance, I thought it was real trashy, and I was like, I thought
the entrance fits with Vegas, but it doesn't, like, in my opinion, fit with her.
It doesn't fit with her character. I thought it was kind of trashy and tasteless.
If you didn't know, her entrance in the WrestleMania was more like a burlesque style one, kind of like how Britney Spears used to do it. I did one of her. I forgot what song it was. You'd be known more of.
I don't remember. Circus, I guess.
Maybe.
All eyes on me in the center.
But it was pretty much like that, and it was like the whole time coming down, everybody's touching her and stuff like that, like the burlesque type stuff, and she's singing and stuff like that. And it was weird because one, I'm like, they're trying to brand wrestling into kid family one, and you're showing like, half naked men like touching her and stuff like that, which was weird as it is, but making it more like this is supposed to be for adults only, and it's supposed to be it's Vegas style, baby. But yeah, I thought it was
trashy. I thought it was a little tasteless. Like, you could have done a better opening. I just felt like that. I felt like they use her like that just for people to be like, oh, it's Liv Morgan. Like,
they're trying to make her be like Sunny.
Like, she's a good wrestler. Like, let her ability as a good wrestler shine. That's why I felt like they try to make it all trashy for her. So
yeah, and then they had possibly the worst match of the night, and possibly the worst match at WrestleMania was Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes. Reason I say that is because they gave the belt to Cody Rhodes. Everybody there, everybody in the audience, and even Randy Orton all wanted Randy Orton to win. Nobody wanted Cody to win because it's like 3 WrestleManias that he's at, and he's won like all 3.
This is that was his fourth straight headlining it.
Yeah,
4th straight WrestleMania headlining it.
It's annoying that they're pushing Cody Rhodes. Like, I mean,
you could say the same thing.
Is cool, but it's just like I'd rather them just give it to other people. Like,
you could say the same thing for like Roman Reigns. He's headlined how many WrestleManias?
Yeah, but also he's like lost the belt and given it to other talent on there. Didn't have to necessarily win it back unless it matters. So this is a little bit different on there. It's like he needed to win against CM Punk for all that stuff that happened. So I thought that his win was better than having Cody win. But apparently Randy didn't really turn as evil as it is, because I thought Cody was going to turn more evil because Cody was doing more things of a heel. But then they said that Randy punted Cody Rhodes, and that was his old move when he was a heel.
Mm-hmm.
So they're saying that Randy's the heel and Cody's supposed to be the good guy.
Like maybe they'll give it to him later on, like a couple months later.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe they just didn't want, for whatever reason, they want to drag on the storyline. Maybe give Randy Orton.
This one in day one lasted 4 hours, 5 hours.
It lasted a pretty long time.
Yeah, because it started at 3, and it ended at like a little bit after 8.
A little bit after 8.
So
yeah.
about like 4
for
hours,
6
5
matches
hours or whatever. For the 6 matches
Yeah.
and all the surprising stuff. Now day 1 was way weaker. Everything was rushed. Everything was
You
done.
mean day 2?
Or day 2, I mean, yeah. Everything was rushed. Everything was real quick. That it only ended in like 3 hours. So if you were the one that wanted to just see the Roman Reigns match and you paid all that money for the floor level for 3 hours, it was not worth it at all, in my opinion, on there. It would have been better to just get the combo, because at least you got day 1 packed for like the 6 hours where you're like entertained and all this one here. This one I was like watching it, and then Robert Really Gaming here was like, man, they've already went through like 3 matches on there. Like, this is gonna end way quick.
It did.
And then there was like 2 more matches, and then it was over. There was no surprises except for one, and we'll get to that on there, which was the opening match, which was Oba Femi. So do the Oba Femi. We have a video of that on the channel as well. Versus Brock Lesnar. Now, this was a squash match. It lasted like 10, 15 minutes on there. And Brock Lesnar retired afterwards. And WWE blocked my channel for showing that video, even though they showed it themselves. But apparently the story behind the scenes is, from what we see from other wrestling outlets, is saying that Triple H wanted the match to be long, like a long match or whatever, but not have Brock Lesnar retire until, like, I think it's SummerSlam, where it would be in Brock Lesnar's hometown. Brock Lesnar was like, that's what he wanted to do. Triple H wanted this to be a squash match, and then have him face Gunther, and then retire. But he doesn't like Gunther, so he was like, no, he don't want to do it. So after this, then they're like, okay, fine, it's going to be a squash match. You're going to go in there, and then it's going to be done. So then after he lost the match real quick, it was like Oba Femi did basically Undertaker's move, where he did the kind of like the last ride and the choke slam and stuff. That Oba Femi looked like he was shocked or whatever, and then you saw Brock Lesnar do the secret code that most wrestlers or referees do when it's like something went wrong or somebody went off script, and then you see Brock Lesnar unlace his boots and stuff like that, and he started retiring. Audience were like, thank you, Brock, like that, because they were shocked that he was retired. It's the only surprise that was there at WrestleMania on day 2. And everything else just went really super quick and nothing.
No, nothing for like Pat McAfee.
No, because Pat McAfee wasn't really like a surprise thing on there. But the other match that we had was the IC match, where I had Penta, Javon Evans, Dragon Lee, JD McMahon, Rusev, and Rey Mysterio.
That was disappointing.
Now, this match was like, it was okay, but there wasn't a lot of like, ladder use match kind of thing like that. And then the time that Rusev fell on Rey Mysterio out in the ring and broke it. The last time we ever saw Rey Mysterio, because I didn't even see him time over, so I don't know if he got hurt again or what. But you could see Rusev lean towards the right or to his left to go take the the cutter or whatever for Dragon Lee, and then Dragon Lee puts I think it was Penta or somebody into the Styles Clash, because now he's allowed to use the Styles Clash for that. And then he was about to go climb up there to get it, and for some reason, Penta, they still wanted him to be the IC champion. And day 2 of WrestleMania, they've been having a Mortal Kombat theme. So Seth Rollins came out as Scorpion, and that got blocked on my channel too. But he came out all smoke coming out of his jacket, and he had the black eyes like Scorpion. And then Penta, he came out as Shao Kahn, and he had the horns and everything, and he came out as Shao Kahn. Now, when we get to this other match, I'm like, they squashed that one. They could have done that easily with Mortal Kombat. But, I mean, the ladder match, I thought it was okay. It could have been way better. I mean, since they had 3 luchadors in the one, they could have done way more high-flying moves and stuff like that. I think that they didn't want it to be that spectacular because that was the free version that you got to see on ESPN. So I don't think that they wanted it to be anything where everybody's like, wow, that was the greatest match there. But then we had the U.S. title match, Sami Zayn versus Trick Williams.
Whoop that trick.
And
Whoop that trick.
That match was okay. I mean, the entrances on there was dumb, but I picked that Trick Williams was going to win. He picked Sammy was going to win, and it ended up being Trick Williams.
Whoop that trick.
So Trick Williams.
Whoop that trick.
Is U.S. champion now, and Robert Really Gaming saying that is he sees Trick Williams as being like the next Booker T, because he's kind of doing
the way that he did that, like that spin kick and things like that. It reminds me of Booker T.
So I can see that he could probably be the next Booker T. They're probably testing him out with the U.S. title to see like how his fan reaction is and stuff like that, to see if he could be world champion. Because just because Booker T trained you or somebody trained you like that doesn't mean that you're going to perform like that. Like, the audience may not even like you, so you may not even get over with the audience. So then the next match was Finn Balor versus Dirty Dom. Dirty Dom came out like this tank looking thing, and then fell on the people that were carrying the tank. They came out there, so I thought that was cool. Demon Finn Balor entrance was pretty cool too, but I got striked on that one as well for recording that one. I put it on the channel, and they strike me on that because they said his music is copyrighted. So got hit with that, but his was cool because when he does he shot out all the streamers, so you got to see all the streamers and stuff like that, which was pretty cool. And hopefully they used this Demon Balor correct, because before it was like every time he faced somebody, it's Demon Balor. Then you need to make it where he has no choice but to use the Demon Balor, make it a stronger character, so that then it's you don't get to see him every time, you only get to see once in a while of the Demon. Then I would say one of the worst matches on day 2 was Jade Cargill versus Rhea Ripley. Now, Jade Cargill should have came out as Jade from Mortal Kombat and continued with the Mortal Kombat theme because they were promoting Mortal Kombat 2, the movie, and it would have been really cool. But did she? No. So I was like, I thought that was a wasted promo there because her name's Jade Cargill, and Jade is a ninja in Mortal Kombat, so they could have had her come out just like that. But I don't think she's a gamer or anything like that, so I don't think she cared. But I was glad that Rio won it only because Jade Cargill can't wrestle, so they had to give it to somebody who's more established.
Yeah, to whoop that trick.
So Rhea Ripley is now on SmackDown. She's no longer on Raw, which I didn't think about that when it came to WrestleMania, that they were from opposite sides and everything like that. I just thought it was, Raw, SmackDown. I didn't think it was switching out, it at all. But then the final match that was really quick match was CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. Now, Roman Reigns' entrance was pretty cool because it showed like the Roman, cathedral and like the Roman pillars and stuff like that. And he's coming out on there, so his was pretty cool. CM Punk I found was really stupid, but they thought that he was going to be like he's the more of like the fan favorite kind of thing. But they showed him like he's on the top of the Allegiant Stadium, and then they have the aerial view where like the drone goes around him, and then he comes out and he starts walking out right, and there's no music, no nothing on it, and then he goes and writes on the ground, and then it hits his music and stuff. But I was so glad that CM Punk lost because I don't like CM Punk as a wrestler. I don't think he's that great of a wrestler. I think he just like, oh, you got to be me. I got to be the top dog here because my moniker is best in the world. So if I'm not on the top, then I'm not best in the world. Like that kind of thing. I think he's more like arrogance and stuff like that. Like he makes the perfect heel, but like you shouldn't make your personal life be your character on there. And then like Roman just seemed like he was just having fun. Like he didn't care whether he was going to win or not. But what did you think about that match? Did you like the ones?
I didn't throw up the ones.
You didn't acknowledge
I know
the tribal.
you had to throw it up real quick when he came out, but you were like you can resist. Your arm was shaking like this. Try to get the ones up.
Well, you were in tears when your MC came out for both days, which was John Cena when his music hit.
You were like
you were like, oh my gosh,
trying to hold
John Cena's
hold
here.
The ones, but
you said the MC is here.
I thought that Roman Reigns CM Punk match was actually probably the most interesting match of the night. I thought it was more entertaining back and forth. They actually kept you more involved.
Yeah, I thought it was better than the Cody and Randy's one.
Yeah, so I thought I enjoyed it. I didn't care who was going to win, but yeah,
I actually think that the audience was split 50-50 because most of them were singing, CM Punk's song, and then a lot of people were doing Roman Reigns.
But the weird thing to me though is you like going there. The wrestlers, I'm like, this guy to me doesn't seem like he'd be good. People liked him,
yeah, and
I was like Javon Evans. People were like cheering for him, and I'm like, he still got a lot of work to do.
Yeah,
but people were
they like him because they like him like Kofi Kingston and stuff.
And so it was like things like that where I was like, yeah, this guy's not like Danhausen. I think he's.
I mean, his segment with the Miz and stuff like that was pretty.
Yeah, funny. But I think it's just dumb for like.
Well, maybe they should start bringing back gimmick characters
for his
again.
Gimmick and stuff maybe like that. But everybody's wearing the shirts and going, "You are cursed," like things like. And I was just like,
funny. It's entertaining. We don't get these.
But I was just thinking is like the people who are popular have like just this really like simple gimmick, and people love it, and then they run with it like Yeet.
Yeah,
and it's like it's a stupid gimmick. But everybody's in there, dancing and shaking to it and things like that. Who do you think started it? Daniel Bryan.
No, I think Stone Cold actually started with the what? What? And everybody then, did the one thing. And then Daniel Bryan did the yes.
But you look at like the era when we were like growing up watching wrestling, you didn't see guys like D'Lo Brown, for instance. People were like, you're looking at the real deal now. Or, like these little gimmick ththings that they would have, people
Godfather,
people wouldn't fall behind them. They'd be like, "This stupid, get this guy out of here."
Not Val Venus. Hello, ladies. Everybody liked Val Venus.
Like things like
Mark
that.
Henry.
Like people wouldn't. Or like today, it's like you could be like put your thumbs up, and everybody put their thumbs up. And,
I think today it's more like they're trying to do like the rapping and the like the whole entertainment kind of thing like that, where it's not like where you got a match where you can just kind of like laugh at the match because it's like a gimmicky kind of one. Like with for like Dan Helsing, like for instance, when he was fighting that guy that he beat up with the Miz, can't think of that guy's name. That guy was on the top of the rope, and then Dan Helsing like sits up like he's a vampire and goes, "You are cursed," and then there's an explosion, and that guy falls.
Yeah,
and then Dan Helsing pins him.
That's just dumb.
That kind of gimmick stuff is good to do because then you're just kind of like laughing.
But even when you look at Jey Uso, out of everybody, I would have never given the title to Jey Uso. Never let him win a Royal Rumble to win a title.
I wouldn't have given it to any of the Usos. Like I didn't think that they would be champion.
Even though he won the title, I still don't think he's a good champion because he doesn't have the skills. But because he does the one simple gimmick with the yeet and things like that, and people love it, that's the only reason why he would get over. Mm-hmm. But you don't see why isn't he holding the belt now? Because he's not as good as
because I think he needs mic skills.
He's not as good as people think, and you got to think too. Like they gave it to him briefly for him to lose it. So it's like, and
he was a paper champion,
and they put him back into the tag team running. So it's like they gave him the opportunity probably because of Roman Reigns, and then
they needed somebody of the bloodline to continue to do it. Well, now we'll go into the Raw, and then if we have time, we'll do the 20 questions. So Roman Reigns, your tribal chief champion, on there was coming out, and he was going to go alone, but then he told his cousins, like, "Nah, you roll with me." And he comes out and he said that CM Punk tried to break up the bloodline, but he said when they're separated, they fall apart, they lose, but when they're united as the bloodline, then they're unstoppable. And he wants the bloodline to come back. So he said, there's nobody out there that's willing to face him that's good enough to come. And then Fatu comes out, and now he challenged it because his excuse is he wants that belt so he can get the upgraded houses. He can get the more money to feed his kids, more money to go get the good house, the good cars, the good money, the good plane trips, the good hotel one. He wants all that luxury, so he wants to go and face Roman Reigns for that belt at Backlash. And so Roman Reigns says, if you do this and you lose, then you're going to have to acknowledge your tribal chief. But he said, I do want you to have a better house, have a better car, have better all the stuff like that, because he had to work for all that stuff. So he said, yes, I would like you to do it, but you're going to have to beat me for it. And if you can't beat me, you got to acknowledge the tribal chief. That's what ended Raw. Here was the look down on that. So he said he's going to give him till the end of the week to let him know whether he wants Jacob Fatu to face him. So then we also see here Obafemi come and talk about he's the next ruler of worlds on there because of he beat Brock Lesnar. So now he's the big guy. But then we also had Women's Champion Rhea Ripley and Io Sky defeated the Kabuki Warrior. And then they were crying there because Rhea has to go to SmackDown and Io Sky's staying on Raw. So they had a moment. Then we see here Cody Rhodes confronted CM Punk after the second City Saint lost the world champion of Roman. Showcases the Mortal. So it looks like they may have a feud again. CM Punk and Cody Rhodes, which I think is going to be done because then if they give it to CM Punk again, he's going to have the belt again, which I'm like, nah, anybody but them two. But then who got called up this time? Ethan Page. He's no longer on NXT. So he got called up and he faced the other guy that got called up before, is Javon Evans. And so they fought. They even got into a fight with Rusev. So they were able to, he won his match against it. And then they said Liv Morgan defended her world title against Sol Ruka, which Sol Ruka, in my opinion, I mean, one, look how much taller she is, but two, she reminds me of Lita, so I think that she can do popular here as being, the next one. But apparently, Sol Ruka's friend, Zarya, attacks her and turns, evil or whatever. And if you've seen the NXT match or whatever, that Zarya chick pushes Sol Ruka off the table.
Spoiler.
She hit her head on the back of that table, so I don't think we'll see Sol Ruka too much if she got that concussion on that one. But you see this, the Street Profits returned to do the brawl with the Visions and Logan Paul, Austin Theory. And then Braun Breaker beats up on Seth again. But the Street Profits, isn't one of the Street Profits married to or engaged to...
married to the EST.
To the EST, which was another surprise there because she was surprising on day one that she's pregnant. So that's why she hasn't returned. So she'll be out for a while for, being pregnant. So that was cool seeing that EST on there, even though it got blocked. But
my thing, though, is if Braun Breaker was able to come back to WrestleMania, he was able to come back to face Seth Rollins. Because now the feud's not that good. You think...
Well, to me, it's the whole Rey Mysterio thing. Where the plan was Rey Mysterio faces Gunther. But then Rey Mysterio said he got injured and he wasn't going to be cleared, and he didn't know when he was going to get cleared. It may or may not have been WrestleMania. So then they pivoted and said, okay, we'll have Gunther face Seth Rollins. Once that match was written in stone, mysteriously, Rey Mysterio is now fully healed, and then he got put into that match of the IC title. So, who lied, who didn't? Was it supposed to be that way? I don't know. Same with Braun Breaker. He wasn't cleared, supposedly, in January or whatever, so they didn't know if he was going to be cleared WrestleMania. I think he was probably cleared way longer, but they wanted to keep him there till WrestleMania so he can beat up on Seth Rollins and continue the feud.
But it's like the feud's not going to be as good because you had that build up leading into WrestleMania, and now it's just kind of like, okay, whatever.
I mean, it'll still be pretty good, though, because you got to remember that Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed was part of the Vision with Seth Rollins, and then
but they had to turn on him because Seth Rollins got injured.
Yeah, so it's like now it's doing it to where the Vision is still around, but with newer members, and then their former, head of the Vision is no longer part of the Vision. So that story could last for a little bit while. But then we also have the Judgment Day fighting again, and then the interruption between that one. So that was pretty much all of Monday Night Raw. Yeah, Monday Night Raw was okay, but what do you expect when it's after WrestleMania, which was the big pay-per-view? But let's see, do we have time? Yeah, I think we'll have time. We'll do the Wrestling 20 questions. So
take a look.
The Wrestling 20 questions?
Yep. Let's see. I won't pull up the opening. I'll add it in post. But let's see. So if you didn't know of this segment, Wrestling 20 questions is I got to ask 20 yes or no questions to try to guess the wrestler that Robert Wheeler Gaming has picked.
Without looking at my phone.
I won't look at his phone because he always accuses me of looking at the phone, because when he did it last time, he picked Mr. Fuji, and I was able to guess it on the last possible guess. That it was Mr. Fuji. He, on the one I gave him, was IRS, because everybody got to pay their taxes.
Okay, so...
I was able to guess that one.
So we'll start. It's Mr. Fuji. Dang it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So we're going to go let the questioning begin, and I will ask, is this wrestler wrestled before the 90s?
Yes.
Okay, so he wasn't in the 90s wrestling. Was this wrestler a fan favorite?
I mean, yes and no.
Which means that, like, like everybody liked him. They had the shirts. They cheered for him.
I would say yes and no, because not a lot of people had merch back in the day. So he had his merch, but people probably weren't really buying it as much. But
okay.
So yes and no to that one.
Did this person, when he came out of the ring, like walking down the aisle, gave his merch to kids?
No.
Did this wrestler wrestle consistently in the 90s as well?
Yes.
Okay, so it's an 80s and 90s wrestler. Okay, was this wrestler signed to a Legends contract?
No.
No? Okay. Is this wrestler...
You're on question 5 right now.
Yeah.
So.
Is this wrestler a Grand Slam champion?
No.
No. Okay.
So question 6.
Is this wrestler a tag team?
No.
Okay. Is this wrestler won the Intercontinental or U.S. title?
No.
Never won it?
No. Okay. So this is 8.
Okay. So, is this wrestler a gimmick wrestler? Which means, like Duke the Dumpster Drosy,
no.
like The Godfather, that kind of stuff.
No.
Okay. Is this wrestler ever worked for another promotion? So either WCW, TNA, AEW?
Yes, he has.
Okay.
So you're on 10 right now.
I'm on 10 now, okay. Is this wrestler ever won the world title?
No.
No.
So that's 11.
Title, so. Is this wrestler a manager?
No.
Okay, so probably not going to guess this. Give me one. I'll use one of my hints.
I'm trying to see. So I'll give you a hint. He wrestled kind of before the Attitude Era. So he wasn't really a part of the Attitude Era.
Okay. Is this person a Hall of Famer?
No.
Not a Hall of Famer.
Should be, in my opinion, but no. There was a 12? You're on 12 now?
Mm-hmm. So he's an 80s wrestler. Maybe wrestled in the 90s.
He did wrestle in the 90s, but he didn't wrestle in the Attitude Era.
So he wrestled early 90s, not late 90s.
Like early to mid.
Yeah, because the late 90s was the Attitude Era. He was never a tag team. Never a world champion. Never a mid-card champion. So he never really won a champion then. And he's been on other promotions. Is the other promotion AEW?
No.
So it's TNA then.
So you're 13.
Okay. So
You gotta think, if it's 80s, 90s, Impact Wrestling's not even around.
But you said he wrestled for it, though.
He wrestled for another promotion.
Yeah.
So what would the other promotion around that time be?
WCW.
There you go. So he would have wrestled for WCW at one point. Not Impact Wrestling or AEW, because they weren't around at that time. You're on question 13, I think it is?
Yeah. So he was in WCW.
I gotta see if there's a mirror back here to make sure you don't get it.
Did he start in WWF and then go to WCW because of either a money dispute or he got fired or whatever? Or did he start in WWF and then go to WCW, or did he start in WCW and then go to WWF?
He did not start in WCW and go to WWF.
So it was the other way.
Nor did he start in WWF and go to WCW.
So then if he wrestled in WCW, then he was
So he started in NWA. Because you got to think of territories and things like that.
Yeah, but...
So he started in NWA and then joined the WWF later on.
So he never wrestled WCW then?
He wrestled in WCW, but not at...
Not like a full...
Not, you said started.
Yeah.
So he didn't start his career there, but he wrestled.
I have no clue who this person is. Is this person a commentator at one point? No. Okay. So that's 14. I'm gonna need another hint.
I'm debating what kind of hint I should give you because it would give it away. I'm debating. Do I want to give it away for you, or should I? I give you.
Well, you could just say.
I give you this hint. He never won a championship in WWF or WCW.
Well, that wasn't the one I was going to ask. I was going to say, when did he join WWF? In the 90s?
Yeah, so he was mid-90s he joined WWF.
No, I know, but I'm saying he was in WCW the whole time until WCW.
So he was in WCW in the mid-90s?
Yeah.
As well as WWF in the mid-90s. So, he could have been 91, 92, and then went to WWF 93, 94.
Yeah, but that wouldn't be the mid-90s. That'd be the early 90s. He was in WCW.
Yeah, so
he was in WWF.
He would have been in the 90s, wrestled for both promotions. But this guy never won a championship. You have one more clue, and you're on question 15, is it?
Yeah, 15. Guy went from WCW to WWF. Never won. Okay, I have a guy in mind, so I'm going to try to help it.
Let me see if the mirror's back here so you can...
So, did this person have a valet with them?
No.
No? Huh. That is not the person I thought it was then.
So you're on 16.
Yeah. I was going to say, was this guy, when he went to WWF, a boxer?
Is that your question?
Yes.
No.
No? Okay. That's not the guy I was thinking of. That sucks. That was the only one I could think of. I went from WCW to WWF. I'm on 17?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it 18?
It's 17.
17? Okay, so it's not really helping too much. Let's see. Did this guy, when he was in WCW, join the NWO?
No, because the NWO wasn't formed around the time he was wrestling. So you're at 18?
Okay, so then it's not that person. I'm thinking, who the hell went from WCW to WWF? Said he never won a championship. You sure he's never won a championship?
He's never won a championship in both those promotions.
Not even the IC? Because did this person... You said he didn't wrestle in the Attitude Era, huh?
He didn't wrestle as like a big time star. More of if he wrestled, it would be more like like dark matches and things like that.
So he wasn't a big name.
So he wasn't even a big name. He would have wrestled in dark matches. Never appeared on during on TV during the Attitude Era. If he had a match, scheduled.
So you're doing the low of the barrel then person then, because
you have one more hint,
Well, I'm going to do...
as well as you have to answer two more questions.
Yeah, I have 2 more questions. So I'm going to use one and then do the hint.
Okay.
Was this person, I'd say, well-known or popular with the fans?
It's kind of yes and no.
Because I would say, like, he'd be popular with fans where it's like, if you were to say this person's name, they would know who he is.
I would say kind of yes and no for this one. So...
Okay, so before I have to guess who it is, I will use my last hint.
Okay, there's kind of 2 clues I want to give you to try to give it away so you can kind of get it, but I don't know which one I should give. So he would... let's see. No, I think this one would probably give it away, so I'll go with the other one. His kind of like gimmick when he would like when he'd come out for his entrance, he'd always give himself a good job. You're doing good job. That was kind of his gimmick, where he would praise himself for doing a good job.
Where's the little thing here? So you're saying, is this guy, his first name, whatever, is a city in New York?
No.
Okay, because I thought the guy was Brooklyn Brawler because he was giving him praise. He tapped himself on the back. Okay, so let's see. Giving him praise.
That was kind of his gimmick when he would, when you play your music, that would be kind of his gimmick. He'd always praise himself. You're 19, and then you got to guess.
Yep. Did this person...
Actually, I think you do have to guess. Cause
I have to guess because...
Now you have to guess because you used your...
Yes. I used my last hand. I asked for the one if he... it
was had a New York name.
Yeah. So I have to guess it. So I am going to try to go real deep, try to pull this person out. I am going to pull out Al Snow.
No. You gotta remember Al Snow won a title. Barry Horowitz.
Oh, so it was Barry Horowitz. Okay.
Because I was going to give you... He was used as a jobber. I think you would have got it.
Well, I said Brooklyn Brawler, but
Barry Horowitz praised himself because he would tap himself on the back. So I didn't say tap yourself. He pat himself on the back because you can get it too. So he praised himself, as well as you think he was used as jobber talent. His like big match, and that's why I said he was like known by the fans and not known by the fans because he was a jobber. So he'd always lose.
What was he doing in WCW?
Same thing.
He was a jobber.
He helped.
He was always known as
a jobber. But he also his biggest win was against Chris Candido. He ended up beating him, and then he had kind of like a streak of winning. But he was always known for developing talent. And they said that he had very brief appearances around the time of the Attitude Era, which is why I was telling you that. But he wasn't featured in any of the storylines or any of the core stars. So he was still used to develop kind of younger talent. But he would be known for kind of what they consider the new generation, was the early 90s, and helped develop talent. But yeah, if I told you he pat himself on the back, you would have got that real quick.
Yeah, but I wasn't thinking anything of that one. So you gave me the bare bones people, the ones that basically are what they'd call a jabroni or a jobber.
And see, Barry Horowitz, in my opinion, should be in the Hall of Fame because he developed... He wasn't the guy who'd be like, you need to give me a push. Mm-hmm. He said, I'll develop the talent if you need me to develop talent. And he helped a lot of these guys.
Most of them.
He helped a lot of these guys become...
I mean, is the Brooklyn Brawler in the Hall of Fame? I think he is.
I don't think he is.
I think he is. I think he was in one of the legacy ones because I think they put him in there.
I don't think he is, but I thought of this one the other night. I was like, I'm going to use this one.
Well, that was a good one because I could not think of it because especially I don't remember him in WCW. I only remember him in WWE.
Yeah, they said very brief. Very brief.
I only remember him that he would be in WWF as the, like you said, the jobber. He'd always pat himself on the back, which our mom would always say, "Oh, was he the guy with the tape?" And it's like, no, it's not the guy with the tape. The guy with the tape is a different person on there. But yeah, she'd always say that, like, "Oh, is that the guy with
the Brooklyn Brawler is not in.
He's not in the Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame.
He should be in the Hall of Fame. He'd be in the Legacy one. Like, that's dumb.
No, and see, he was also used to help enhance
that's talent. What I'm saying.
And that's where I'm saying is like they need these guys. These guys should be in the Hall of Fame because it's like, hey, you helped develop talent before they had a developmental era.
Like if they needed a guy to face the big guy, so the big guy would look good.
You needed a guy who would be able to walk you to wrestle and things like that. You face the Brooklyn Brawler or Barry Horowitz because these guys are going to walk you through on how to look good. And that's why you need guys like that. Even if you put them in a legacy wing or something like that, you need guys like that to be able to say.
Most of the ones that go in the legacy wing are the ones that are dead.
Yeah, but you need these guys of give them an opportunity.
If that guy's alive or not.
Yeah, he's still alive.
No, the Brooklyn Brawler's dead.
Yeah, both of them are still alive.
Still alive?
Yeah, he's 65.
I thought the Brooklyn Brawler died too.
Yeah, no.
Man, they need to put both of them in there before.
That's what I'm thinking.
Don't screw him over like they did Sid Vicious. Like that was horrible. But that's all the stuff, all the news we have for our Tackle the Takedown podcast. And like always, I'm Dark Knight 316. This is Robert Wheeler Gaming, and we'll see you on the next one.
God bless you guys. Take it easy.
Yeah.